Jim, talk about the passing away of Michael Jackson.
Well, it's an event that's been, I was amazed it was shown on so many TV channels, Fox as well as ABC, NBC. I think it has a universal significance. I mean, he was well known. I was not a personal fan of his type of music, but I respected what he was able to do on many dimensions, not just from an artistic point of view, but from the point of view that I think he demonstrated a lot of love. And I think that this is all about love, because he had ability, but it was the quality of his ability. There was something in him that he sought love and he received love from people. And I think there's a Michael Jackson in all of us, and I think that's why it has a universal significance.
So the mythology of Michael Jackson, what would you think that would be?
It would be the process of life, of finding your bliss, what you love to do, and then taking the steps and being focused to develop that. But it's a symbiotic relationship when you are an artist or an entertainer like him. It's not just the quality of your abilities, but it's also the quality of your talent. Somehow he emanated a great deal of love for people, and people responded to that. It's not something that you could quantify, but if you just see and watch, you will understand what I'm trying to say.
What do you think people in the arts, what is their big gift? What is their mythology?
In the arts, it's simply to...
Whether it's music, whether it's paintings, whether it's writing.
It's to touch some aspect of your soul, which goes beyond words or symbols. They're all pointers, but it's the experience. Somehow they're able to, through their medium, touch the respondent's soul, either by the music or the painting or the acting.
And that's a universal need that we all have, isn't it?
It is. It's true for all of us. And I think if you're a businessman, you like to be successful. You like to make money, not just to be successful, make money, but what it brings you, the appreciation and the love of other people, whether it's dear people or respect of your colleagues. No man is an island. I really believe that. And they're drivers. Love is a major driver.
So how do you think Michael Jackson touched the consciousness of the world?
Well, Michael was able... How did he touch the consciousness of the world? The type of love that I was articulating earlier has a quality of timelessness about it. If you're touching the soul, then you're beyond the space-time construct of time and space. You are beyond three dimensions.
So, Jim, what do you think Michael Jackson's contribution to the world, to all of us, in 4 decades was?
I think he demonstrated through his talent and the quality of his talent a great deal of love. Love was what motivated him, some say because he didn't get it from his father, but I'm not here to analyze. He loved what he was doing, and the quality of what he did showed that he loved the people, and he loved the response from the people. And I think love is the greatest driver in anything you do. My father always told me, find something that you love to do, and in time, you'll be paid well just to do it.
How did that influence you as a child under that kind of mythology?
Well, the one thing that I was always attracted to in my youth was the priests of the parish and the nuns of the schools that I went to, and the way they lived their life was a life dedicated to love of God as they perceived it, and by extension, love of human beings and service. And I think, in a sense, that's what motivated me to get into the Jesuits, because I saw living proof through the people who touched my life so profoundly in my formative years, demonstrating that life, that love. And they happen to be very events surrounding his death and the celebration of his life, the memorial, to me was symbolic of someone who had gone through the entire gamut of life, not only developing his ply and developing, I think he was an idealistic person, extremely talented. At the same time, he was a young man that I think had his darker sides, his shadow side, and he fought his own demons. And I think that's a universal motif that we can apply to all of us who live on the space-time construct of a three-dimensional reality. We live in a world of polarity, duality. And I myself, as an idealist, somewhat, one people would say, certainly by my training, my profession, my life, I tend to look at the brighter side, but I'm aware, abundantly aware of the shadow side of me. I want to see peace and harmony and happiness, and sometimes I'm willing or unwilling to tell everybody all the time the exact truth, but tell them only what I think they're able to hear or understand.
And in your experience, then, do you think that it's important to be consciously aware of your motivating driving force as being love in everything that you do?
Absolutely. That becomes primary, and it becomes that way through attentive awareness to your life. And it's something that was impressed upon me during the Jesuits. We would examine our conscience twice a day, at noon and night before we went to bed, to examine any, not only fractional words that we may have said to people or expressions of temper or out of balance, but even in our thoughts. And that was a technique or a practice that I learned to and kept in my life as I went on. And I'm constantly aware of not only the words that I use, but the thoughts that I have throughout the day.
Talk about fractional thoughts. What does that mean?
That's thoughts that are usually very ego-driven, that tend to be excessively judgmental, whether it's talking about people or giving energy to something that you've heard. By fractional, I was referring as fractious, that breaks up, because we're all individualized, localized expressions of the one, and sometimes we enjoy giving each other being human and feeding into the judgment and analysis of people that go beyond.
So what would you think about all the people that all they see in Michael Jackson was the darker aspects of him?
Well, that really tells you where people are. For me personally, I am not unaware of the things that he's been accused of and have been said about him. But I look vibrationally, and I also know on the other side the good things that he's done, that I feel, that I can see, that I sense. And I go back to the darker side of him. How does it serve me vibrationally to focus my energies on all these dark aspects of us, which exist in all of us on the human plane, living in a space-time construct of a three-dimensional world of polarity and duality? It doesn't serve me to focus on all that negativity. I acknowledge it could well be there on some level in some manifestation, but I am more energized, uplifted vibrationally, spiritually, when I see that he is a microcosm of each and every one of us. Michael Jackson is, in a mythic way, that he had an opportunity to live his life. He did it with everything in his heart and soul he put into it, and did it well. And at the same time, he struggled with his demons, with his darker side. We all choose to do what we do. We may say for money or respect or power, but those, I think, are sometimes subterfuges or camouflages for love. We want to be loved. And I think Michael Jackson wanted to be loved. And sometimes when you want to be loved, you may step over the boundaries. I just say it's possible, but it's part of the human condition.